Hi there, we had an amazing 2-week trip to Vietnam. In this video I hope to share some ideas of where to stay, what attractions to see, where we can get great food, and just general tips of traveling in Vietnam. I hope you join us for the trip. Our first stop is Ho Chi Minh City in the south. Ho Chi Minh is the largest city in Vietnam. We stayed in District 1. I would suggest this is where you stay if you're only there for a couple of days. It's in the middle of everything. We chose the Sunland Hotel, a mid-range hotel with a great breakfast. They also have a great capsule hotel for single travelers. The first major attraction is the Ben Thanh Market. I prefer it in the evening because all of the hawkers set up on the outside of the market. It's definitely a festive place and lots of shopping to be done. Then, just around the corner is the street food market, part of the Ben Thanh Market. The food's slightly more expensive than on the streets, but it has live music and a really festive place. Another great stop is the Sky Bar. Our hotel had a great one and you have beautiful views of the city while having a couple of drinks. The next morning we take a private tour with Jason Superstar. He's a highly respected tour operator and I can recommend his services. We decided on a Mekong River trip. The trip is on a private junket watching everything on the Mekong River, especially the markets. It was great to support the local traders and get a beautiful plate of the local fruit. From there we were transferred onto a smaller sampan that explored the smaller canals off the main river. This is really amazing, where you see some of the locals going about their day-to-day chores of fishing. There's a real sense of serenity as you cruise down the river lying on your hammock. Our next stop is a local temple, where we could see the monks go about their daily routines. We were also fortunate enough to see the kitchen in action as they were preparing the vegetarian dishes for the monks. After an amazing morning on the river, we disembark at a local wet market. The market is filled with locals getting all of their daily provisions. Our next stop is at a local family's home. This is truly one of the best experiences in our trip in Vietnam. We get to meet an incredible family that opens their home and prepares us an amazing Vietnamese lunch. Back in Saigon, it was time for dinner. We booked at the Hotel Nikko. Their signature restaurant, Le Brasier, serves the best seafood buffet I have ever had. The seafood buffet includes unlimited lobsters made to order, 7 different ways, with absolute fresh produce. For those that are not seafood lovers, there are plenty other dishes, including Vietnamese ones, to your taste. I have a separate video that has this in more details. Check it out. After your feast of food, there's always some space for some delicious desserts. This buffet is definitely not short of that. The next morning, our first stop is the Notre Dame Cathedral of Saigon. This is a stunning building, similar to that of the Saigon Central Post Office. The convenient thing is it's right across the road. This is an incredible building, and you can post a couple of postcards to friends and family back home. Around the corner from the post office, we found this incredible little coffee shop called Propaganda Cafe. Perfect spot for refreshments before continuing your day. Our next stop is the Independence Palace, a really important part of Vietnam's history and an interesting place to spend some time. Our next stop was the Saigon Sky Deck. This viewpoint is 50 stories up and gives you a magnificent view of the whole city. A definite must-do in my book is the EXO food tour. Here, picked up by ladies with their mopeds to whisk you away on a food tour over the next 5 hours. These incredible ladies take you on a guided tour through many of the districts of Saigon, tasting some incredible food. Ahead of time, EXO will ask you how adventurous you want your trip to be, from the standard fare to the more adventurous foodie outing. The tour winds through the streets of Saigon, stopping at little restaurants trying out traditional Vietnamese dishes. EXO Tours run a great show, so they'll make all of the arrangements ahead of time of how adventurous you want to be with the food. You can choose the standard fare or no seafood, or take the more adventurous route as a foodie. This will include barbecued goat, crispy frog legs, and balut. Balut is a fertilized duck egg eaten in Vietnam. I highly recommend EXO Tours and spending some time with these amazing ladies and tasting some of Vietnam's incredible food. The next day we fly off to Hue City. Hue is situated in the central part of Vietnam. Hue also used to be the ancient capital of Vietnam. We chose to stay at the Rosaline Boutique Hotel. This is a mid-range hotel in the middle of the city with a great pool and an afternoon tea that was included. The pool is a great way to cool down after a hot day. The main attraction we wanted to see while in Hue was the Imperial City. This citadel is a massive complex of ancient buildings. Definitely take a few hours to stroll through the grounds and see the incredible buildings, statues, and artworks. Back in the city, we decided to stroll through the streets. Hue has got an incredible array of pubs, bars, and little restaurants. We decided to grab some lunch, which included Vietnamese fried rice, coconut iced coffee, and some lemongrass prawn skewers. It was an incredible lunch and highly recommended. If I had the choice again, I'd probably stay an extra night in Hue. We just stayed the one night, but that was enough to get a feel for the city. Hue is situated next to the Perfume River, and the riverbank is the center of all the action. This lively area sees all of the entertainment, pubs and bars, and the bridge crossing the river is lit up beautifully. One of our favourites while there was the DMZ, a great little spot to grab a cocktail or a drink and just watch the world go by. Other entertainment in the city includes karaoke bars and massage parlours. We ended our evening at Vinh Loc Tien, a great little restaurant. They serve great food and cold beers. After a great breakfast at the hotel, it was time to hit the road. We arranged for a driver to take us on the Hoi An Pass all the way to Hoi An. The first stop of the day was the fisherman's village. We could see the fishermen returning from the sea. Our second stop is Lang Co village, famous for their oysters and their pearl production. It was great for us because I ended up eating some oysters and my wife shopping for some pearls. The Hoi An Pass is one of Vietnam's most beautiful roads. It was made famous by the Top Gear program, where they drove the Hoi An Pass on motorbikes. The roads on the Hoi An Pass are spectacular. They snake up the side of the mountains, giving you some amazing views over the coastline. At the top of the hill is the old French bunker. Here you got an amazing view over the whole pass that you just travelled on. There's also quite a few restaurants and kiosks set up at the viewpoint. Our next stop is the Barnard Hills theme park. This incredible theme park is set up on high peaks of a mountain. The only way to get there is a 20-minute cable car, which is just spectacular. The resort has many cable car lines taking you to different attractions on the mountain. The park is modelled on a French village. It operates a little like Disney, where you can see some characters and even see a parade take place. All the cable car rides are great, and it gives you a bird's eye view of the resort. From here you could see the great toboggan slides that we experienced later in the day. My absolute favourite of the park is the Golden Hands Bridge. This is just an incredible structure with some amazing views down the valley. Everywhere you go in the resort is just amazing, with structures, statues and beautiful gardens. The park also has a great entertainment area, 3 stories of rides, arcades and shows. We spent about 5 hours in the park, and in hindsight we could probably do with a full day, so keep that in mind when you're travelling. After arriving in Hoi An, we booked into our hotel, the Le An Boutique Hotel. This is a great family-run hotel situated on the island directly across from the old town. Hoi An is just spectacular with all of the lit lanterns in the streets. We chose the Morning Glory for dinner. What an amazing restaurant. The Vietnamese dishes were just impeccable. Highly recommended. After dinner, we spent the rest of the evening at the local night market. The night market has plenty of stalls selling souvenirs, food and trinkets. The next morning we wake up to a sunrise over the river. This little family-run hotel is perfectly situated. It serves a great breakfast of local dishes and fruit. They also have a nice little pool that comes in handy at the end of the day after a hot day. Renting a scooter in Hoi An is a great idea. It gives you great freedom to travel where you want to go and at any time. Hoi An is just a small town, and it's not long before you hit the open roads with miles and miles of rice fields. It's also just a quick 20-minute drive down to the famous An Bang Beach. We decided to spend the morning at the beach house, a great little spot where you can get food and drink or enjoy the complimentary deck chairs under the umbrellas. Hoi An town has got a great market. Hoi An is famous for its great tailors. It's the perfect place to grab a tailor-made suit or dress. The market's also a perfect place to try some of the Vietnamese snacks all around. Hoi An is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has many historical places and temples to check out. Another place in town that's famous is Banh Mi Phuong. It was made famous by Anthony Bourdain, who said they made the best banh mi's. Their banh mi's are incredible, but my favourite one was the Banh Mi Queen. Try them both and then you can decide from there. The evenings in Hoi An are just incredible. The streets are all lit up and there's so many places to go and enjoy. We chose Phi's Marketplace for dinner. There's a number of restaurants with a central seating area. After dinner it's time for some fresh fruit and a Vietnamese ice pop for dessert. The next day we booked a trip with Tommy Dow Tours. Tommy is a great tour operator and will show you the spots through Hoi An that you'll probably not get to on a tour bus. Our first stop is a pottery factory run by a local family. Here you get to try the potter's wheel yourself or buy a piece to take home. The tour is amazing and takes you through small villages and local markets. Our next stop is the farmer's village. These farmers supply the fruit, vegetables and herbs to all of the markets and restaurants. The farmer's wife also serves some incredible herb tea and crystallized ginger. You also get a chance to get your hands dirty in the garden and see the traditional farming methods in play. Our next stop is to check out the water buffalo. This is the workhorse of most farmers in Vietnam. If you're brave enough, you can even have a ride on one. We get to travel down these little pathways between all of the rice fields to the river. From here, we take a tour in traditional bamboo boats and get a chance to try out the local fishermen's nets. These ladies on the boats are incredible, always full of smiles and laughs. The last stop of the tour is at a local restaurant that serves amazing Vietnamese dishes. I highly recommend this tour, so give Tommy a call if you're in the area. Our next attraction is the Vinh Phu Resort and Hotel. Vinh Phu is situated around about a half an hour out of Hoi An, but well worth the trip. It has got a massive water park that is great for the whole family. It's a great way to take a couple of hours and cool down from the really hot days in Vietnam. The resort also has a river safari with animals, shopping and arcades. The best part of it is the amusement rides. There are not too many people, which makes it great. No queues to stand in. The evenings in Hoi An are just spectacular. The sights are endless and it's worth taking a stroll down to the Japanese bridge. The next morning we'll be moving to Danang. Danang is about 40 minutes drive north of Hoi An. We decided on the Mandela Hotel on the main coast of Danang. This hotel's got some serious views, and the best of all, the rooftop pool overlooking the spectacular coast of Danang. Danang's got miles and miles of incredible beaches, and there are many places to grab a lounger and chill on the beach. The Vincom Mall in Danang is a great spot to catch up on some shopping, grab some snacks, or visit a restaurant. The mall even has an ice rink if that's something that you enjoy. The next attraction is the Lady Buddha. This complex is an array of spectacular buildings, gardens, and statues. The main attraction is the 67-meter Lady Buddha. On the same grounds as the Ling Un Pagoda. This is also an incredible sight. Back in the city of Danang, there are two more markets to explore. The first of these is the Con Market. great place to grab a snack or some fresh fruit. The second market is the Hoi An market. This is a multi-story market with plenty to see and do. We also bought quite a bit of luggage, clothing and shoes in this market. Danang's got some great evening entertainment. Grab a seafood dinner at the market and then head off to the main attraction, the Dragon Bridge. In the morning, it was time to fly out of Danang into Hanoi. Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam. The hotel we decided to stay in is the Babylon Garden Hotel. This is really a great small little hotel with amazing staff. The next morning we are picked up by Aspira Cruises. We start the trip that takes about 2.5 hours from Hanoi to the port of Halong Bay. We will spend 2 days on the Aspira luxury cruiser. Halong Bay is honestly one of the most spectacular places I have seen on my travels, and I highly recommend that you spend some time in this area. The experience on the ship is incredible. The food is high class, there's a swimming pool to cool down, and you just got an amazing staff to look after you. Activities on board include checking out some caves, spring roll making, Tai Chi in the morning, and a kayak excursion to the fishers' village. If this sounds like too much effort, just grab a cocktail and chill on deck. Back in Hanoi, there's plenty to see and do, especially around the One Kim Lake. Grab an egg coffee at our favorite coffee shop, the Note Cafe. Hanoi's got plenty of shopping centres, but one of our favourites would be the Vin Com Mega Mall. Another great attraction in Hanoi is the Confucius Institute. Another great attraction is the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum and the St. Joseph's Cathedral. Railway Road is also a great spot to check out. We also discovered this amazing garden that was just off one of the big lakes in Hanoi. An absolute must-see in Hanoi is Beer Street, one of my absolute favourites. A very lively spot and cheap beers. What more could you ask for? I really hope that you enjoyed the trip with us through Vietnam. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe if you like to see more of this type of content. See you at the next adventure. Cheers!